everyone, to yet another SDN Community Voices, our weekly community touchpoint between you, the members and the followers of the Service Design Network, and all the amazing voices we have in this big, amazing community we have. My name is Felipe, and as always, I am your ambassador and host. And today I'm very excited to bring a fellow Brazilian to chat a little bit about his experience working in both big companies and also now a startup. Diego Silvério, I'll bring him to the stage to introduce himself. But before we start, remember to send any questions you might have on the chat while we're talking, and we're going to talk and answer them live in our final Q&A segment. But yeah, let's just bring Diego to the stage. Hey, welcome.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. So just introduce yourself a little bit to everybody that is listening right now.
Sure. Well, it's a pleasure to be part of this initiative, the Yes SDN community. As Felipe mentioned, my name is Diego. I'm from Brazil. Talking a little bit about my professional experience, I've been working as a designer, a professional designer for over, oh my God, I think 15 years.
Hmm?
It's been a long time. Uh, uh, I graduated as an industrial designer, but over the time I worked in different numbers of areas, also all related to design, but in different fields that from what I have today, such as innovation consultancy, service design, perceived quality in industry, in a home appliance industry, big in Brazil, academic research, design for change management, and now I settle on until I settle on digital design that I where I am today. Uh, During this time, I worked for different kinds of companies, different size, and also with different kinds of design teams, different size and compositions, from a team with 250 product designers to just two product designers, where I started at my current company, and now we are four.
Yeah.
So a big range of design size of design teams. So yeah, in the middle of this period, I also began my experience as a design manager, managing the career and also the operation of the some of these teams. And yeah, I think that I've been able to get some insights into different types of teams, different compositions, and also different approaches and tools related to design, mainly about digital design. And it's been very rewarding, this
Yeah,
journey.
I mean, it's a crazy amount of work. I think we have been doing, as you said, 15 years, right, in different design fields. So we are not going to go too much into that number, but
No,
in
please.
general, no, don't
A
worry.
lot of time.
Yeah, but what maybe is just to start us off, what is one of the most important learnings you maybe got from all of this variety of different themes and approaches and sizes? Is there one thing or maybe a couple of things? Doesn't have to be just one thing.
Sure. Yeah, I I know that sometimes designers like to stick in some solutions, some frameworks, some tools. For example, right now, a lot of people talking about Figma and Figma libraries and everything related to this tool. I understand that maybe designers like to to it because is where they exercise their RenCraft, their execution. But one thing that I've been thinking about working with different kinds of teams, different kinds of companies, is that designers need to be really flexible, adaptable about how to practice design inside of these companies, because right now we have Figma. Some years ago we had oh my God, Sketch, and maybe next year will be some AI too. I don't know, but designers need to think about the problem, think about the customers, the people, and how to uh, select, how to choose the right tool, the right framework for that moment, for that problem, for that solution. So I believe that the main learning that I've been thinking about these years is how to be flexible and adaptable inside of the companies.
Yeah, and I think every tool is going to have its weaknesses and strong points, right? Even if we
Sure.
have, I don't know, Figma, Miro, Mural, Sketch,
A lot.
Adobe XD, they all have things that work better and work worse. And maybe you might have a team that they're a little bit older and they're using an older tool, but that's the one that they know, right? So you're not, it doesn't make maybe sense to completely say, yeah, we're going to use Figma because it's much better, and make everybody relearn a tool just for the sake of that.
Yeah, and I maybe I will be a little bit controversial right now. I like to provoke some thoughts, some uh, about what we are doing, how to practice design. But one thing that I like to say to my team is if we have, if we need to solve a problem and we are using paper, it doesn't matter the way that you will solve it, but the best, you need to get the most of the tool, get the most of the framework in that situation. That could be paper, paper prototype. Service design exercise a lot about it, about physical stuff
Yeah,
to solve a problem, acting method, or the paper prototype, or some mock-ups. And if we, in digital scenario, if we exercise the solution on paper or on Google PowerPoint, it doesn't matter because the idea is to get the solution for that challenge and bring the solution to people. So if we are using old tool, a new tool, analogic tool, a digital tool, it doesn't matter. The point is how to get the most of it and deliver the right solution for people.
yeah, and
So
it just came to me a very random example, but bear with me. I saw this news about a guy that he used Excel to make art. So he would do each cell be a pixel. And it just came to my mind a little bit because Excel is not made for that at all.
no,
But he used the most of the tool there for what he wanted to do. So it's less about limiting yourself with what tool you are using, but more, as you're saying, what is the most we can use that tool for the context that we are right now. And
sure.
you can use Excel to do paintings, you can use Paint to do spreadsheets. That doesn't matter. What matters is, in the end, you are focusing on the problem that you have at hand, right? So
Right. Yeah. The point, I believe that it is important to realize what kind of benefits for sure you have with this tool, this framework. Maybe you are talking about efficiency, collaboration. Excel is not a well known as a collaborative tool, so it's okay to think about it and maybe try a different way. But the main point is not to stick to it, not
mm,
to get it as the silver bullet for the all solutions, all problems that you have at the company. And that's what I've been learning, I've been thinking about uh, during these years, about what we could do inside of the companies and how to explore and think about the scale, small teams, big teams. Maybe we could learn from different situations about what we could do in the design field
yeah.
for people. The main point is for people, what we are delivering to them.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever had that discussion, but that's something that came to my mind right now about the use of open source tools, right? Because Figma, Miro, Miro, all of these tools, just to name a few, they are getting ever more expensive. I hear a lot of teams talking about how expensive they're getting. Is that something that you already talked either in the big companies or smaller companies about using open source software instead?
That is a good point. Not as much as I believe that is important that I want. Um, yeah, one thing that I believe that is important to think about open source is not about the tool itself. For example, Blend, that is a
Yeah, it's an open
well-known
source 3D.
3D software. Uh, some guys from, I don't remember the country right now, created a masterpiece that is inside of the Oscar awards, um, with the Flow movie that
Hmm.
is made entirely inside of open source software.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I don't I don't have any big software, any big solution related to this, but one thing that I believe that is important is to think about the concept,
Mm.
because we are talking about open source. We are talking about how to bring open solutions and open methods and open frameworks to people, to everybody. So thinking about community, think about the design field at all globally. I believe that we need to think more about open source solutions, not only related to softwares, but also related to libraries and methods and frameworks. I I, I I'm not seeing so much people sharing these less than before, but maybe we need to get this again and to collaborate and share more on the design field to maybe identify some opportunities on that
Yeah.
related to open source softwares, but also the open source concept.
Yeah. I think it goes back to what we were talking before about flexibility, right? Understanding that you might sometimes have to be flexible to allow other people to access the information, access the knowledge that maybe people that had the opportunities already to gather, they can share with other people.
Yeah, yeah, I agree that maybe the moment is not so in. I mean that we need to think more about how to empower the design field at all, not only the service design field, not only the digital design field, but how to bring this possibility to people, because thinking about small teams, small design teams, um, we don't have much knowledge inside of the team. We don't have much experience, much skills in the inside of the team. So we need to reach the community. We need to reach other companies, other design teams to share the knowledge, to get different approaches, and to learn different tools, frameworks. And it is really important to small teams to have this possibility, because they don't, inside of the company, maybe we don't have so much uh, opportunities to share, to create things, and to maybe get some experience about the design field. But if
Mhm.
we have this possibility and have this knowledge, this shared knowledge at the community, uh, between companies, I believe that is really helpful for a small team. So that's that is the connection that I believe that we connect the needs of a small team with the knowledge that could be in the community or in a company.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
pretty important.
Do you have maybe an example of when that happened? Right now, on the small team that you are, you reached out.
Yeah, we are. When I and when I came to this company, we had a lot of challenges related to design field, design team. We hadn't a strong process. We hadn't a strong design system or a Figma library or components or design tokens. We hadn't uh, research practice, uh, a settled um, research practice. We hadn't a lot of things.
Mm,
And the important part of it that the leadership, the company expected so much from the design team that we had this empowerment from them, this demand from the company to be a better design team, and we started to think about what we could do and to create this operation, to structure this operation, the design operation side of the company. A lot of times I listen from the other companies and other design teams that you start with the design system,
mm,
and I don't believe that the componentization, the design modules inside of the Figma or other kinds of software is the way to solve it. You need to think about the foundation. You need to think about uh, what you could do to create this basis and help the team to evolve and to exercise the design practice inside of the company. So we started to think about design process, a simple thing that maybe we don't realize in big companies because someone already created the process, and you just get it and apply in your routine. But we needed to get experience from other design teams for other companies. What is the process that we need? What is the the steps in your process, the deliverables, the tools, and we get some from different people some uh, piece of knowledges like, okay, how do you do a handoff to the development team? How do you do uh, a translation between the research phase to execution phase? How do you communicate what we are doing? Because I'm working at a remote company uh, with a lot of async communication.
mm.
How do you communicate the design practice, the deliverables inside of this? So um, I myself reached different professionals, different companies, different teams to get these pieces and create this puzzle, connecting the possibilities inside of the
Yeah.
our challenge, and then we created this basis.
On itself,
So
and to create the process, you made a process.
yeah, yeah,
Because you're talking about doing the interviews, then summarizing the insights, and then understanding and prototyping. So,
yeah. And in a small team, we need to do everything, all the steps,
yeah,
and to get practice and to practice these steps, we need to do the interview, the recruiting, the interview, the translation, the prototype, the paper prototype, the low fidelity prototype, high fidelity prototype, the handoff, and follow the and to follow the solution after you deliver it. So you need to realize what you need to do and what is the importance of each step side
yeah.
of the process.
And I think in a way is also having the humility to know you don't know everything. So this idea of reaching out and understanding that other people might have different ways to do it, and also the self-reflection there is quite an interesting one, because as you said, for a big company, maybe somebody already did the process and is there and is established. But that doesn't mean that that process is good. And it can be that the company is just reusing the process over and over, but there's
Yeah,
nobody really reflecting there if this is a good or not process. You're just following through with it.
sure.
And maybe in a smaller company, you have that space to rethink, okay, we have a new client. Maybe the process we have right now is not the best. How can we rethink it and restructure it so it's better for this specific context, right?
Yeah, and even a new design member at the team, a new member at the team. So this person that is coming to your team have a big knowledge
Mm.
from other company, from other scenario, other situations, and then it's important to listen to these new members of your team if they have something to opinate to contribute to your process, to your practice, to your operations. So I believe that, as you said, the to be open to think about to rethink about what you are doing.
Yeah, and see, I think all the possibilities. I think it's also very fresh when you get new people and then they're coming with new perspectives. Everybody has a different experience on itself. And as you're saying, also, it's quite a global company. So you might have people from different parts of the world that have different perspectives, different design educations, and things like that.
Sure.
What could be like one piece of maybe learning or self reflection that you had from a new team member coming in and you're like, oh, never thought about it, or something like that? You have something?
Let me think. The a recent, yeah, there is a person that came to my team recently, and she's amazing. She has a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience in the design field, and she asked me a lot about what we are doing in the research practice,
Hmm.
why we are doing this, why we are following this process, why we are why we don't we created like a template for to plan the research and we are not using it.
Hmm.
So uh, I believe that this is a recent situation that I'm still discussing with this person about what we could do, how we could improve um, the process, and yeah, it is important to be open
Yeah,
to
I think it
everybody.
goes back to that mechanical kind of idea of we're talking. You have the process, so you just do it, and then you forget to ask the why, as you're saying, right? Why you're
Yeah.
doing this? Why is this put in place? Why is this helping you? And I remember about 5 years ago, I had quite a similar feedback. I was applying for my bachelor's, and I remember that on the
Oh,
assignments, I had a feedback, and they asked me, they just told me, like, yeah, the what and the how were perfect, but why were you doing that? And I realized I didn't know. And I think that's a strong kind of reflection, right? To realize the why behind all of the process, all of the things that you're delivering and how you're doing it.
yeah, and it is important to always keep this question in mind because we don't use it to think about it.
Mm.
We we use it to we use it to get the short path for the solution
Mm.
and thinking about the how, what, but not why. Uh, and then we always get this short path for the solution and forget to ask why we are doing this. So I believe that is important to keep this question in mind. It's a frequent exercise, a constant exercise.
Yeah, to kind of keep yourself accountable also and understand, again, as we're saying, the why behind all the questions, right?
Sure.
And then talking about questions, I think now is also the time for us to opening
Yeah,
to
I'm seeing.
anybody that is watching right now
Yeah.
to ask any questions online. We're going to answer them live. For now, we already have 2 questions, so I'll just pull them while we wait for other people. But we have, for example, from Cosette, that she's asking, how are you scaling your partnerships to create a mutually beneficial partnership?
Wow. Great question, Cosette. Thank you. Um, I don't. I don't have much experience scaling the partnerships. I have experience previously before the digital experience that I changed from the industry to the digital area. But at that time we had like we created like a group of people uh, from different companies to discuss about the subject, the field that was the perceived quality of products. The point was we hadn't so much uh, discussion about it in the design field about perceived quality. So in that time, we created this group with people from different companies, different market, also not to maybe it could be it could we could have like people from the same market from, for example, in my current situation, like ADTech, they maybe are competitors in the inside of the market. It is okay, but in that time we got people from different companies, different markets that had the same um, challenge, the same practice about perceived quality on physical products. So I believe that is a possibility that I'm thinking out loud right now, to create this kind of groups related to a specific need, for example, research, service design. SDN is a good example about it, but maybe we need to think about other kinds of needs, subjects that we could create these groups. That could be a small group, a big group, could be with designers, with other different types of professionals. But I believe that is a good way to scale the partnerships
Mm.
and to create this mutual benefit with the partners, discussing not about the business, but about the design practice with them.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to that idea of community we were talking about, all right? So really
Right.
creating this value chain in the community with different partners.
Sure.
And then we also have a message from Rodrigo Sampaio Teixeira. Sorry that your name's not working, but he said, Diego, what are the biggest challenges as a leader in managing a team remotely?
Oh, thank you. Uh, could you repeat his name, please?
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo, thank you. Thank you so much. Um, the biggest challenges. One thing that I believe that is really, really a challenge for every. I've listening. I've been listening about this challenge from different uh, teams, different companies about communication,
Mm,
because it is crazy because I'm talking about design teams and talking about design practice, but the main challenge, I believe, that is not related exclusively to design field. I believe that communication is a challenge in relating to the design operation, how to communicate what we are, the design decisions inside of the projects, inside of the agile teams. Because once once we get the challenge, the problem, we tend to go to our computer or table and work lonely with this challenge, this problem, and then come back to the team and saying this is the solution.
Mm.
We tend to do this. Is natural, almost natural, to to think about the challenge and try to give a solution, and then we spend a lot of time, maybe days, thinking lonely about it, and then alone about it, and then we came back to the team and we received a lot of feedbacks and a lot of suggestions and a lot of discussions, and maybe we need to rethink, redo everything because we didn't communicate properly inside of the process. So, and I'm just giving this example because I believe that is common related to the design process, but thinking about the managing a team remotely, communication is essential.
Yeah.
Truly essential.
Yeah. And I mean, with that, we're coming to the end of our time together. So I thank everybody that put the question down and interacted with us. And also thank you for your time today. And Diego, just to answer all the questions and talk a little bit about your experience.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to me.
And to anybody that joined us online and ask any questions, thank you so much. As I have been saying, this community voices weekly really happens because of the people that are engaging with us live. So please follow here the link tree on the corner to stay connected with us in our socials and see any further updates. We just released also the topic about SDGC 25 that's happening in Dallas this year. So a lot of new things coming up. And I'm very excited to see you all again next Thursday for yet another episode of the SDN Community Voices. And until then, thank you very much and have a good day. Bye.